Oh my goodness. Hello and welcome to the finale of Besieged by the Dead. Dare I swear to so good at it. My name is Ellis. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns. I am your dungeon master. And let's see, what's the other stuff? You can find me on Twitter at Heckvetica, where I write RPGs and talk about RPGs and UI UX design. Um, but other than me, we have all these other people here we can talk about. I don't know, maybe starting with Miguel.
Hi everyone, I'm Miguel. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miguel_Clasico, where I just, spend all day. I'll be playing Rogelio, and that's all I got.
Awesome. Dare, are you there? Dare.
Hi,
Go for it.
I was getting selfies for the tweet I'm about to do. Hi, I'm Dare. I am playing Lotus, she they pronouns, my pronouns are any. I'm ready to roll hopefully incredibly high or very funnily, incredibly low. Either way, I'm here to have a good time.
Excellent. Yeah,
Not a
just
long
don't
time.
yeah, don't roll tens. That's right down the middle. Uh Izzy, go for it.
Hello, I'm Izzy. I would like to go ahead and start this finale by thanking my cast and crewmates for putting up with the actual theme park amusement ride that I took them all on, throwing my laptop around as we prepared for the game, and I tried to find a good way to stream from a couch. Which, spoiler alert, there's not one. I'm on Twitter, Z_mist. I'm on Twitter, Z_mist. I guess I'll do the other promo stuff later. Oh, she, they. I'll be playing Jubilee, also she, they.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually have a new rule just for this session. If your camera falls off of you at any point, your character dies permanently. So good luck. Uh, and Nikki, take it away.
And I am Nikki, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm co-creator here at TTRPG. You can follow me everywhere online at halfling_Nikki, Nikki. And I'm playing Isadora, our elf cleric.
Our wonderful, wonderful, totally a princess, probably actually not really a princess. Cool. So when last we left off, y'all had dealt a mortal wound to General Vladeska Drakov and fled the town hall where she commands her armies. Just a scant few hours before the siege of Lecker begins. You escaped down some streets, chased by Talons and other people of Lecker. And let's see, so Jubilee was able to cut off their pursuit by bringing down some buildings, closing up the street. But by that time, a rider had already scooped up Isadora, at which point she guiding bolted that horse's ass, which sent them all tumbling to the ground. Lotus was able very easily to convince the horse that just give it up, just go on your way. So the horse took off, leaving the rider alone to fight all of you, giving Ozavestrith a quite a fight for quite a fight for Olivestrith's life. Together, y'all were able to bring this extremely skilled fighter down. At which point, Ollie's patron found them through the mists and brought them back to wherever it was that they originally came from, somewhere in Faerun. And as a parting gift, they gave you all the benefits of a short rest. And now you all stand in a wide street in Lecker's central ward. The mists are actually kind of lingering around you right now, having just taken Ollie. Some tendrils of mist kind of like reach up to each of you, but nothing too extreme. And you can hear people down the way kind of like trying to clear out a route through the rubble of the buildings, climbing over it, taking side routes, as sort of like the din of battle has quieted down. It's easy to hear people moving about, mostly heading in your direction. And then those sounds stop.
I would like to pick up Isadora and start waving her around into the like dispersing mists and just going like, breathe it in, just to see if they'll like take her as well. Like, I'm just so concerned for her safety. It's just like a quick like, maybe she'd get to go too.
Take her back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not leaving. You need me here.
As you are waving your cleric through the mists,
Inhale deep.
you all notice that these sounds you've been hearing of work and approaching people cease. And looking around you, you notice that the shadows are all growing longer. And as you look up, you realize in horror that through whatever strange power controls this place and the domains of dread, night is coming early in Lecker, as the sun is quickly beginning to set, hours ahead of what you expected. And the quiet breaks into panicked screams as the people who previously were trying to clear a path to you abandon that to take to the defenses that they have set up against the siege. All of you are watching the darkening sky when a purple tiefling with red hair in kind of essentially medium like body armor, the large axe, kind of walks into your view from the direction of where the buildings had collapsed, and you recognize Worthy approaching you all, and she is looking up at the darkening sky a bit, and she kind of looks down and she says, "This is extremely bad. I have never seen night come so early before."
Clearly,
Right,
she's never
same
lived
thing.
in Washington.
Clearly, you've never lived in Washington. Also,
Daughter.
speaking of things that you've never done before, have you ever heard, like, say, the voices of a past life coming to haunt you during battle or otherwise? Just like a fun, quick voice that is definitely not there, but you know it's there. Just in comparison, it's dark. Oh, haunting voices.
I can't say that I have. I've
Yeah.
met people who have lost their composure in battle. It happens often, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Right. Okay.
Fear has gripped your heart in the face of, overwhelming.
It's a lot of assumptions are being made, and I don't care for it personally, but I appreciate your input.
If it makes you feel any better, Jubilee, I hear Lathander's voice very often. He speaks to me.
I think this might be a separate thing, but thank you. I'll keep it in mind.
I hear a voice. It's a sweet whisper right behind my ear, reminding me every now and then of what I have to look forward to. Is that
That
what we
might
did?
also be a different thing. You know what? Forget I
I
asked.
think
Don't
there's
worry
some
about
different
it.
voices. I think we all have maybe a different voice.
Okay, so everyone's
Some-
hearing voices.
So
I mean-
everyone's got a voice.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it sounds
gosh.
kind of like everybody around's kind of hearing stuff in their heads or something.
I mean,
Maybe it's
I
just
can
this place.
pinpoint the source of my voice. Scary's on my back.
I'm always here, buddy. I'm always happy to help.
Scary's accent
Right.
really goes some places every time.
Worthy says, whatever it is that Huan Ji wants you all to accomplish, it needs to be accomplished now, or else I don't think you're going to have much of an opportunity.
Did we not get her?
Vladeska?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I don't think you did. She's a tough one.
Worthy,
Yes.
how are you feeling considering if like I hadn't grabbed Vladeska's wrist, you would have been all like kind of gesture to not do the whole thing.
I feel. I can't say that I'm particularly surprised at her response, but I also feel a bit of relief. Whatever, I don't know. I am more certain now that I am willing to do what Huan Ji is asking me to do and aid you all in betraying and killing one of my closest and oldest friends. This place has suffered for too long now, and it's not the only place that suffered at Vladeska's hand. She used to be someone, used to inspire and drive and direct, and Falkovnia has made her only paranoid and brutal. So, in the end, I'm glad that I got to see it, so that I could at least can know now what it is I'm going to do and why. And I'm glad you were there to catch her. And she kind of is just leaning resting her arms on her battle axe. And she glances over at the rider and says, "Oh, Aloysius? Did you all do this? Did you
He tried to
kill
kidnap
him?
me.
Yeah, there was a horse tackle involved. It was a lot.
The horse is great though.
Horse is fine.
I'm a little shaken.
Oh, horse is not fine. Excuse me.
He'll be fine. It takes a few days.
He's just got to work through some stuff."
He's got to unpack some stuff.
Worthy says, "Well, he was always a bastard. I'm not actually particularly concerned about that. I'm just surprised you all managed to pull it off. I've never really seen anyone fight quite like him. But hey, if you managed to do that, I'm sure. Where's Ollie?"
He
Complicated.
got taken by a demon in a
I think he
mask?
left.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed a lot more
Black
willing than how
vibes.
you're saying it, Dora.
Yeah, it was a
He
like
was
a
swallowed
50-50
by
take
darkness.
gone.
Had a whole speech as he went, though. That's something
There
someone
was a
does
speech.
if they.
You gotta remember the speech.
Mm-hmm.
That was a. I'm leaving. I'll maybe see you again.
You can't. Is that consent though? He was
I've
kind
never
of about
seen-
to die. It feels a little
s-
coerced to me.
I've seen a lot of people be kidnapped in my day. I've never seen any of them give a speech as they were. So I'm just, if you want my 2 cents on it, I think.
Isadora just
Sounds like it
doesn't
was
trust this god that Ollie follows.
Um,
I'll be praying for him.
uh, as night is rapidly coming on, Worthy says, well, all of you should, I don't know, hopefully find a way to reconnect with Huan Ji when the siege begins, which it seems like it's going to happen a great deal sooner than we expected. It is going to be chaos. And I suspect that Huan Ji's plan in that chaos would be to get to Vladeska somehow amidst all of it. But I will do my part should the opportunity present itself. But my responsibility now is first to Falkovnia. I'll need to join them on the ramparts soon. And as Worthy says this, she turns and heads back in the direction that she came from, heading towards kind of the like town hall at the center of the central ward. But night is almost here. What would you all like to do?
We see, like, so these collapsed buildings
Mhm.
are just kind of blocking like the road, right? But there's still
Mhm.
places to go, and
Yeah,
presumably
there's like
places to.
yeah, there's
come
other
in.
streets and stuff. Yeah,
We're not a full
to get
barricade.
around.
Got it. Right.
Mhm.
So it does sort of seem like maybe we should hole up somewhere, or bear with me, could do some sort of non-copyrighted superhero entrance and save a lot of folks, and then also leave. I would love to get home. Got to find my sister. Don't know
Well,
where that
the
is.
last time I spoke with Lathander, he said that that I was here to help.
Wait a second. Oh my. Okay, so listen. Okay, again, bear with me. Crazy idea here. Like, someone very important to me was like, "Hey, you got to follow the light." And as they were saying that, you started glowing. So I'm thinking, where are you going? And does it involve more cupcakes?
Rogelio?
Yes, I have a follow up with Tres Leches in a few days to go over the recipe. Assuming we get back to Baldur's Gate, there would be plenty of more cupcakes. Come to think of it, I have a cheese tasting that night as well. If y'all are free, we could always go there. Assuming we survive all of this.
Well, I mean, if there's cheese involved, then what choice do we have? Am I right?
So I've actually been thinking about it, listening to all. I mean, and I'm wondering, Lotus, have you considered just checking all these people for like scarabs? Because I'm watching them all, and they all seem, I'm listening to them. I'm thinking, like, maybe, like, I don't know, maybe there's more people like me out here. Because
Are you saying you want friends?
I would love some. Oh my goodness, Lotus, I would love some friends.
I mean, I've been telling you that they were my friends and my friends are your friends because, you are a core part of who I am.
Sure.
We're a package deal. Huh? But like, I mean, if you want me to just tell them that you're a fan of them?
You all
do that.
You all can just hear Lotus saying this, and Scary says, "No. I don't want to be friends with them. I want to know if they have scarabs attached to their bodies, and if they do, maybe I could be friends with those scarabs." You get what I'm saying?
Can you talk to another scarab like scarab when they're attached to somebody else?
It might be kind of like a he said, she said kind of.
Because that's already what we do with them without the scarabs. That's just who they are.
Mm,
Not everyone needs
yeah.
a scarab.
Oh, I would have to disagree.
I mean, if everyone had a scarab, then you wouldn't get to be as special as you are to me.
Ugh. Sometimes you say stuff, Lotus, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could detach from your back so I could throw up right now.
You don't have you. Well, I guess you do have him anyway. Scary says he likes all of you, and as much as he doesn't want to admit it, he considers you all friends.
Oh
what
my
is this?
God.
That's so nice.
He
Oh my
was
God.
kind of interested in potentially having you all get scarabs, but that's a negotiation process. The whole thing.
Does he know we all have like I'm gonna say maybe non-corporeal scarabs?
You're like a friends and family discount.
Oh, that's a great idea. Could mine be a squirrel? I have a thing with insects.
You have
Thing
a
with
thing with
insects.
insects?
I mean, I'm right freaking here.
Well, okay, well don't I didn't hear that. I don't know who you're talking to.
Lotus also asked this exact same time.
It's just I'm sure they're great for some people. They just have a lot of legs.
Punch also. I know a guy.
At a
Does it bother you? I'm a swarm keeper.
I mean, not yet. Don't send your little friends at me and we'll be fine.
Okay, I don't want to like upset you by.
Listen, shh, honey, come on.
Should we find Wanji?
Oh right, yeah, like sure, the night, the mission, the
I
zombies.
assume Wanji will find us.
You all kind of stand quietly for 2 seconds, expecting him to dramatically reveal himself. And no, he does not. In the distance, Jubilee, as you were watching like Worthy go, you can tell. So one of the like things that I forgot to mention when originally describing Worthy is that one of her like tiefling traits is that she has like goat legs, and so you watch as she just kind of like hops up the rubble and then off onto the other side that's blocking the street. And as the shadows get longer and night slowly but surely arrives, you all actually begin to hear voices, but actual voices that all of you hear as what seems like a song slowly rises across the city. Excuse me. And eventually you realize that it is almost like a prayer. Isadora, you don't recognize any iconography or reference to like a specific god or deity or anything like that, but it's very much like a kind of like a hymn rising up as the sun officially disappears beyond the horizon and night arrives. And in this song, essentially, you're able to pick apart different bits and pieces of the lyrics, and you all recognize it as a send-off, a valediction, sending the sun away and essentially hoping to see it again when it rises and the night ends. And sure enough, even here in the Central District, or Central Ward, which is flanked on the north by the river ward where you all came through, an additional ward to the south, and one to the east, with the river kind of running on the west. You all are able to hear the moans of the dead. And they're sort of screaming and hissing, biting, chomping sounds as all around you in every direction, you are reminded of the sound of the agitated horde that first chased you through the river ward. Except now it is everywhere and so much louder. You also notice that as night sets in, the mist begins to thicken and creep in, sort of running along the ground, rising at about kind of like waist height along the ground. And you see sort of beyond the rubble of those buildings, you see bright firelight light up as the bonfires that you saw previously when walking through the central ward are lit. Similarly, you see similar kind of firelight in other directions, lighting up the sky, and almost, I mean, within minutes, the sort of atmosphere of the city, as grim and sort of dour as it was, has shifted into something much more frenetic. And the sounds of battle rise up in every direction around you. What would you all like to do? You know that your remaining targets are essentially Vladeska, who you've agreed with Huanji to assassinate. Huanji himself, though he's already said that he'll handle that part. But you also know that Worthy is one of the original band of the Falcon, who needs to die in order for this curse on Falkovnia to be lifted.
Do we have a sense of, like, how dead? I've just been watching a lot of, like, I guess, semi-horror thriller movies lately. And several of them, they've been dead for, like, 20 seconds and it counts. And then you just revive them and then it's fine. Like, dead for how long?
I will certainly say that if there's some kind of trickery you can think of where, you know, the heart stops and they're clinically dead for a bit, you might be able to try it. It's certainly not something that Huanji mentioned.
We don't need to count on it.
Yeah.
Just an option. Which actually is something more that Juby would suggest first. So I think rewinding that back. Okay, so like how in terms of solving this whole issue with the hordes and the sieges, how not alive do folks need to be? Like 30%?
Is Worthy with us?
No, Worthy just left.
Okay, Worthy just left.
Plus, like, even if Worthy was there, Worthy wants to kill Vladeska, so we could just
I was about to say,
yeah,
we can just get Worthy, Huanji. Best case scenario, that 3 will sort itself out.
All good.
That's true. We can get them to fight each other.
We
I
get all
do
three
that
of them
with
in a bag and we
competition.
shake it up.
Oh my God, listen. Okay, this is one of my favorite things to do at parties. Listen, so you run in, you say, he told me you said not to talk to her anymore, and then you run back out. Problem solved.
Classic Baldur's Gate shuffle.
Right? One time there was this guy that was trying to take over the business that my daddy was trying to take over as well. And so what daddy did was he started a rumor about that guy cheating on his wife, and then his wife took care of it. It was really very simple.
My God, let's start a rumor. I love rumors.
I don't think we have a lot of rumor time.
No, we just
The
tell
city's
them.
just, like,
we
burning
just tell
around
them the
you.
plan and let them fight it out.
Yeah, let's go find Worthy. We can tell
Yeah.
Worthy.
We
We
tell
can get Worthy to help us fight Vladeska. Huan Ji will probably show up at the same time. Worst case scenario, that's like 6-on-1.
Right, and so then we fight Vladeska, we kill Vladeska, and then we tell Worthy about Wanji wanting to kill her as well, and then they fight, and then we escape.
That
I
feels
actually
not
love
super
this
heroic,
plan.
but like it would get the job done.
No, because listen, we're all going to have to lie really well, and that can be tough. So we'll go in, we'll do the Vladeska thing, and then we'll tell Worthy that someone cheated with them on them.
No. We just tell them we plan on killing each other.
Oh,
That
right.
was just an
right.
example from Daddy's past. I also wonder, I can't save people if I'm dead, so it might not be the most heroic idea, but at least we'll live to be heroic another time.
I mean, I can heal people too.
I love that plan of being not dead.
There's
And
people back
heroic.
home that rely on us to help them, right? So
The
Rogelio's
street
just
that- Go for it.
Rogelio's just now putting it together that he was supposed to just start a rumor about this guy, not sleep with him behind his wife's back, and then tell his wife.
Wait, I wasn't actually supposed to do it?
Rogelio the honeypot. Oh no.
I mean, if you don't have to lie, it's easier to remember the truth. So
Not a rumor if
Princess.
it's true.
This street that y'all are standing on, it has these sort of like 2- and 3-story buildings on either side, and to the west, higher than the buildings, you can see just like the exterior wall of the city. And as you all are talking, through the sounds of everything, you hear just sort of as up on that wall, which is a good ways away, but obviously very high, you just see undead starting to crawl up onto the ramparts in just like a wave.
We do have a little bit of a situation. Maybe we start moving, or
Yeah, maybe let's do this quickly. I assume they have enough people to handle the wall at least for a little bit.
Can I set it on fire? Just for a second. Just
Right.
the littlest fire.
If you have a way to do that from here, yes, absolutely.
I believe I have a fire bolt and a fire hand. You know what? Let me hang on. Just got the one screen today.
You're good. I will say a cantrip will not do much on these stone walls.
Okay. Oh, right, stone.
I have burning hands, but I have to be next to it.
Do we have any oil?
I have Scorching Ray, which I can cast from 120 feet away. Let me look at my inventory for oil. I have no oil.
I have.
I will
have a
also
tin-
say, for clarity's sake, that the distance that they're at, you all can put distance between you and them with ease. And you also know that you have quite a task ahead of you. So
That's fair.
whether or not
That's
you
fair.
want to use your spell slots and such, I will.
I was
haven't-
thinking.
I have an arrow and a tinderbox. I could get the job done pretty easy.
It's a lot of zombies, Lotus.
I
I know
think-
you roll really well, but it's so
I think we
lot.
should run now. And Isidore just starts running.
Yeah, I think Rogelio has like a small little vial of like emergency like truffle infused olive oil, but he's not
It's just
mentioning
vitamin
it.
C. It's just a more vitamin C than you need. Emergency is a
Oh
a
no,
joke,
not that.
Rogelio.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking I'm gonna throw like a firebolt over my shoulder as I run away.
Sure.
For flavor.
Yeah. So are you all heading like towards sort of just like the rubble where like once you get over it you have a pretty like straight shot to the town hall, or are you taking an alternative route to try to get around that?
Over the rubble probably. Isadora's gonna go for like the straight shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's smart, not wise.
I can do the climbing first and like get some ropes ready to make it easier.
Oh, word.
Nice.
Cool. So I'll say like as you all sort of take off, Isadora in the lead with Lotus right behind, like at the time that you all really start running is when you see like the first zombie like up on the ramparts just sort of like fall off of them onto like the side of the city that you're all in, and then they just start like just falling over this wall, down to like ground level. There's still like one row of like houses or whatever between you and this wall that they're all falling off of, but you all start running to the rubble. Isadora, as you get there, do you wait for Lotus to set up ropes and stuff, or what are you doing?
Yeah, she's very well versed in waiting for someone else to help her with things.
Fair. Lotus, I will say, though you have a good climbing speed, I will say this rubble is like unstable and chaotic enough that I will ask for an athletics roll, but it'll be a pretty low DC.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Either one.
So I was hoping for.
I know.
There we go. 23.
What? Do you have low rolls? Like, what? Oh my god!
It's all digital too, so I can't even be
I know.
blamed.
Yeah,
the mainframe agrees with me.
Lotus. Just as usual, kind of nonplussed by how like you're like jumping and rocks are literally like tumbling under your feet, but it just doesn't throw you off balance.
Just Mario moves.
Just
hits a triple jump for at one point.
Cool. So make let's see. Make a survival roll to like find something stable enough to like get a rope tied to.
7. It's not great.
Oh boy. There we go. Finally, I did it.
I will hold on to this rope as well.
Cool. Yeah. So this rope isn't super stable, but you're supporting it. Isadora, you see the rope kind of like tumble land around your feet, leading up to Lotus. If you like, you can make a athletics check with a lower DC because you're using a rope.
Okay.
That is.
Oh boy, I have a -1 to athletics.
Yeah.
um.
You all die falling down this thing. Oh my god. Yeah, with that
She's
that
pretty
too.
wimpy. Like she can't. Her hands are too soft.
With that too, Dora, you get like halfway up and then just kind of like panic, and sort of like fight, flight, freeze or fawn. You freeze, and so you are halfway up this kind of like wall of rubble, just like holding the rope, too scared to like keep climbing, like in your panic. Jubilee and Rogelio, you both run up as you spot this extremely well dressed elven princess holding onto a rope for dear life, just like halfway up this wall of rubble.
I think Rogelio's no stranger to this freeze up and just goes in to try to just like scoop her up and then like climb the rubble.
Yes, so she is she is like a little bit up the wall, like not at a height that you can get to her just from here.
Got it.
So you'll have to either like, obviously, you know, like when you climb a rope, you don't bring it up with you. So there's rope tumbling down, or you can try to climb the rubble yourself to like get to where she is and assist her up.
Yeah, I'll do that first one, using the rope to try to get up to where she's at.
Cool. Yeah, give me an athletics roll.
Oh boy. How about 4?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I need to make a strength save to keep the rope.
That's exactly where I was going. So as you fail this check, you're starting to get up, but it is holding much more weight. Lotus, I swear to God, much more weight than it's like, you know, it's sort of like haphazardly tied. Lotus is trying to support it. It's holding more weight than it's prepared for. But Lotus, sure enough, I mean, we zoom in on those guns and they're straining, but she's got it. And
on the bow takes a lot of power.
Yeah, Lotus, in your head, you can hear Scary just like, see, this is what I'm talking about with those gains. This is perfect. See, I keep telling you, and now it's finally paying off. And so you're able to support it. Rogelio, you're able to get up to kind of where Dora is, but back down at ground level, Jubilee, you hear just as some of the first trickle of undead are starting to come out onto the street around you. What would you like to do, Judy?
Okay, so there are now undead on the street as well as coming over the wall?
Yeah. So the wall itself, like the actual wall of the city, is at a distance that, like, when they drop from the wall, it doesn't immediately affect you. They're not dropping onto this street. They're like one street over. But those undead who are like falling and landing now have gotten up and have like shambled over to this street and are starting to like come into the area you're in.
And we're all still trying to just get over this rubble.
Get over the rubble.
Are Rogelio and Isadora both stuck? Like, can I do anything to fix that? Or
Rogelio
we'll keep trying.
Rogelio has got to where Dora is, and is going to be able to help her out in a second. But your situation on the ground is getting significantly more fraught.
Right. So am I able to climb up, or do I need to wait for them?
Looking up at where Lotus is like clearly like straining, like kind of just has like the rope support. You think any more weight on this rope would be a bad idea.
Like, Lotus, hold on side.
Alternatively,
claws are making this a little easier.
Alternatively, you can, attempt to just like climb the rubble itself, like the way Lotus did. It'll just be very difficult.
Oh, I think Juby's definitely going the way Lotus did round. Like, oh my God, yeah, I can do that's fine. Hey.
I watched her do it. It was great.
It's great. Is that athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics or acrobatics. It's up to you.
Okay. Well, I've got a -1 athletics. Let's try the acrobatics. Oh. How is an 11 looking?
11's not going to be great.
I just want just the initial part though. She looks very confident.
Yeah,
it's like she backs up a little bit and then like takes like a running like an Olympian and takes a running start and then just it all's downhill from there.
Yeah, I think the way this failure is going to work is that like you're climbing up a bit, you're feeling good about it, and as you're climbing, you you can hear like the sounds of the undead behind and below you, like getting closer. And that's when your foot slips and you slide like down the rubble back in the direction you came from towards this like growing swarm of undead.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
It's like Ninja Warrior.
It's just I wanted to give a quick sort of overview of how not to go about it. That's it.
I'm not down here with them. They're down here with me.
They're down here with me.
So we'll cut real quick to Rogelio. How are you helping Dora?
Let's see, so we're both on this rope, and I'm like behind underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I would think I would just do sort of like try to, I don't know. Try to like maneuver myself into like a piggyback situation.
Mm-hmm.
So where I can just climb and not, and then just like propel her along with myself.
Yeah. Make, how do I want to do this?
Fail. We're both gonna die.
Make a. I'll have both of you make a roll. Isadora, make me a. Okay, Rogelio, make me a charisma roll, just flat charisma. Dora, make me just a flat wisdom roll.
Oh, 18.
Roll with advantage, Dora, I'll say, because Rogelio passed his check.
Come on, man.
So you yeah, sometimes it'd be like that, huh? I will say, Rogelio, you are able to get Isadora like piggyback like you were planning and start climbing. It's just taking a lot longer than you wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
Lotus, you are kind of stuck, like, holding this rope until Rogelio and Dora can get up to the top of it. Unless there's any like spells that you can do that don't require your hands, or feats you can think of, maybe like something with your symbiote or anything like that, we'll jump over to Jubilee.
Now, I have a question then.
Yeah, what's up?
Because now normally there's a little bit of Calvin Ball, but normally the like when I do an attack, I can have the swarm help. Would I be able to do that in a non-attack, non-combat situation?
Tell me about what it is flavor wise. Like what would you want the swarm to do?
The swarm can move. It can move things horizontally. I'm asking for the swarm to move me backwards, like horizontally, to start pushing them up a little bit. I also have Mage Hand, if that means I can start like putting little piece of rock as footing for them to give them like a second of footing. Those are my two ideas.
Does Mage Hand require somatic?
I have a tail.
I don't know about.
I thought about that.
I
thought about somatic with the tail as Mage Hand. Absolutely means I have functionally 4 hands whenever I need them.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, you can. I'll say you can Mage Hand to kind of like give yourself like more pull to start pulling like the whole rope like back more and pull them up. Make a strength check with advantage.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay.
19
is my better of the two. The other one was a 16.
Yeah, Mage Tail. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you. I think like, and you can disagree, but I think like your tail like flicks and summons Mage Hand, and Mage Hand grabs it and pulls, and I think you like wrap your tail around the rope too, and just
Like, I'm putting my heart and soul into this.
Yeah, and I think so I think you are able to with that get Rogelio and Isadora up to the top of the rubble. Jubilee, you have slid back down kind of like base level, and there is like a swarm of undead undead kind of like gathering around you where you are. And you realize, like, as you are sliding down, just how quickly they're building up. As you started climbing, you could see like 3 or 4 like down the street starting to shuffle into view. And now there's like a swarm coming onto this street, and there's still more of them.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So I used shatter to initially bring down these buildings. That's the rubble we're climbing over, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you try to shatter this rubble, I will point out you all are on it.
Oh, that's right. I always forget when people
it will
are
be
in the
very
things
badly
I try to
for
explode.
everyone.
So Juby distances herself from the rubble and then explodes it and is like, all right, that's handled.
Well, the whole party is on it.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
That'd be
Okay.
a real dick move.
I will climb down and help back up if I can.
What is she gonna do? What would she do? She would try to help. So is everyone else already up? Are we good?
Like,
we're good.
Pretty much like this is all happening like at
Okay,
the
so then,
same
yeah,
time.
just keep
so
climbing.
yeah, everybody you just saw like Lotus pull Rogelio and Isadora like up onto the top. So you're gonna climb again, make a acrobatics or athletics.
Okay. I'm gonna use my blade song ability because that gives me advantage on
Nice. Hell yeah.
acrobatics things. So we're gonna do that, and she's gotten down, brushed herself off, and be like, "Oh, this was great. This is exactly what I wanted." Quick firebolt at just like the nearest.
Just a random.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, there's like not even an aim. It's just kind of like fire, just so I can. Blade song. So I'm gonna roll this twice with advantage. Acrobatics. Oh, that's a 1. Oh, it's a 1. Advantage. Okay, that's a 15. 18.
Okay. Awesome. There you go. Yeah, the camera like sees Jubilee's foot like lift off from where it was just as like a gnarled claw, like, and you start climbing with like more haste, and you make it up to the top where everyone is. And where you all are standing up on this rubble, you now are able to clearly see into kind of we'll call it the square, because saying the center of the central ward is old already. I don't want to do it anymore. So you can see into the square where you originally fled from. There are large bonfires blazing. There's like 3 of them at pivotal points. They're main roads from all 3 other districts, and then the actual like wall itself right next to the river all lead into this place. And you can see that they like long ago, like long before any of you ever got here, actually collapsed a gate that led to a bridge over the river, and have just essentially just like walled that, what used to be an entrance, like walled that off, because they've been fighting these monthly sieges over and over. And you can see like talons and just like random people, random Falkovnians, like fighting with kind of shitty makeshift spears, like fighting the undead back. And they work in in like concert with each other. You can tell just watching them that like the only people left to fight these sieges are the people who have survived the previous sieges. These people know how to do this. But it is still this like immense, seemingly insurmountable task. And night came early. No one was prepared for this. It was the day of, so most of the main preparations had been made, but everyone's been caught by surprise. And so you can see like someone will come in with like a large pike, like 3 times the length of average person height, and run it through like a bunch of zombies, and then people behind them will just start chucking torches off of the bonfires, and just like lighting them all on fire. Keeping in mind that you haven't seen anyone in Falkovnia do magic or anything. You don't really know if Falkovnians have magic. And so they are just pulling out all of these kind of like strategies that they know how to do, and holding off these kind of like waves of undead that are coming in from all directions. And standing on top of this rubble, you can see it all happening. To get to Vladeska, where you assume also like is where Worthy is heading as well. You would assume she would be in that same town hall that you all originally stabbed her in, which you can very plainly see. It's like a huge building. What do you all do standing on top of this rubble? Excuse me, goodness.
Elia looks at one of the like zombie kebab situations.
Mm-hmm.
And just says, just not to anyone in particular, but just out loud, as he's kind of used to doing. It's like, did that to 3 bandits down on Yancey Street once.
The bandit kebab, using it on zombies, all right.
They go down quicker than zombies, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you can see like on this kebab, like the zombies are like grabbing the pike and like pulling themselves forward until someone comes in and like lights them with a torch.
Yeah. Lost a card game. What was I supposed to do?
Well,
I look to Dora first.
I think it's time for us to go in and help. That's why we're here, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could tell them we're friends of Worthy. Get into the town hall.
I mean, they seem pretty interested in my magic, so I have a feeling if I just light myself up and we go, that they're gonna let us in.
On of the 3rd day, look for me.
Do you
By
think
the light
Ledeska
of the
told
staff
anyone
of the-
we did stab her?
You think I'll go ahead and answer that one? Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say. Well, I mean, Daddy said you never let anybody know when you've been.
He did.
When you've been, when somebody's gotten better over you, because if they sense any weakness, they will take advantage of that. So it's possible that she hasn't. But even if she has, I think they seem pretty interested in what I can do. To like
maybe-
almost an uncomfortable degree.
Does your dad have an army? Because
Yes.
the army thing
he's a
makes
king,
it.
so of course.
A couple. All right, so maybe we try the light up situation, and then I'll just follow behind and be like, we stabbed Vladeska. She's not dead, but we stabbed her. Just to let
she's in
people
there,
know.
isn't she?
Oh, so should we not tell people?
Maybe
I
we
thought
should
you liked
sneak
the
past.
idea.
Maybe we should go
Oh,
around.
sneaking. Ugh.
I'm not very good at sneaking.
You also could split the party. I mean, I'm just saying.
We do
You
have a
wanted to-
big distraction called a wall of ever encroaching undead.
Which is climbing up the rubble behind you, by the way.
Yeah, we should
Time to
hop
move,
down. By
time-
the way,
time to move. Walk and talk.
If anyone would like help down, maybe I could use my claws to like sort of slide down a bit more, so I can give someone an easier way down.
Yeah, I'll
I
say
would like to slide in style.
I'll say, Lotus, you're able to help Rogelio and Dora down while Juby kind of like slides around the side, sort of like controlled falling, sliding a bit, taking 2 steps, doing a short hop onto a piece of rubble, and then sliding down from there. Not that I used to go run around on back mountains in my hometown all the time.
Running Lotus hours.
And you all make it down to street level. Lotus, give me a perception check.
16.
You see near the front of the town hall, kind of like a makeshift barricade that was there before, and it's kind of like grabbed. It's kind of like fortified by a bunch of talons. You actually don't see any like just kind of regular Falkovnians. And they are holding off like any undead that make it through, like kind of leak through the forward defenses, and standing, not like in a watchtower or anything, but standing just kind of like on an uplifted part of this barricade, with bandages like wrapped around her that are just seeped with blood already, and looking kind of like pale even in this light, is Vladeska, just looking out over like the battle here and just like pointing to random groups and directing them this way or that way, calling out different maneuvers and like troop movements, pointing out different things, places where the undead are starting to break through, things like that.
I mean, I'm assuming Rogelio sees Vladeska doing all this conducting as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just sees the bandages and goes, yeah, that's infected. Someone did not put those on, right?
Oh, so maybe we just like let it happen.
Could be months.
It could take a while,
could be months. Could find.
They might have. Yeah, I could climb up somewhere where it would slow them down if they chased after me. If we want me to be the big distraction, while I like take a few shots at her.
So what exactly do you want to do, Lotus?
If it jives with the group, I'm down to like maybe go off, sort of climb up somewhere where I can make a scene by shooting at Vladeska, and sort of draw people away.
Mm-hmm.
To at least keep eyes away from if the rest of the group gets to her.
Do you want to do like a long, like almost like sniper shot from a distance and just kind of harrow them, or do you want to get somewhere a little bit closer,
somewhere closer where I can make sure I can hit with my best level of accuracy?
Yeah, I will say that you're able to get. You would be able, if this is how you want to do it, you'd be able to get close enough to a building that's like 3 stories high, and climb up it with your climb speed, and just sort of like harrow her with arrows. Especially with like the added height, you would have a good chance at doing that. Yeah. Which would leave Jubilee, Dora, and Rogelio to get in close while she's distracted.
Does that work with everyone? I think I can handle the risk of people start chasing at me.
You are good at, diving and dodging and blowing things up and setting them on fire. You've got a lot of talents, and I'm concerned no one's ever told you that before.
Well, thank
Who
you.
am I kidding? I've told you before. Come on.
Well, if you get in deep trouble, like, do you think you'll be able to get away and run off?
Gary and I are really good at not dying. Because it's the whole package deal. If I go, he goes, and he really doesn't want to go. I have healing magic. I have food. I can hunt.
Do you want to take an owl with you?
Forgot about the
So did
owl.
I.
I know. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm resurfacing the owl because it's been like weeks.
I mean, I'll have the owl come with me. So if I need to run, I can have the owl sort of find you all, and we can meet back up.
He's also very handy at that thing of kind of doing a flyby, just kind of peck someone in the eye and then keep going without taking an
What
attack
was
of
the owl's
opportunity.
name?
Archie.
Archie, that's what it
course.
was. Archie, who has just been like steadfastly perched on Jubilee's shoulder throughout all of these events. Definitely. Just kind of like glares at you, Lotus.
We both hunt mice.
And you could tell he just kind of begrudgingly like flutters onto your shoulder.
Bye. Love you. Be safe.
And real quick with that, we'll say, Lotus, you are able to kind of like sneak off through the dark, get up to the top of this building, and we are going to cut to a quick little early break with the rest of the party getting ready to go in. Hi, welcome. Oh, Dare. Dare, we lost Dare. Oh, no. Oh, good.
I've been caught like that since we went on break.
Cool. So when we left off, the party had just split up. We have Lotus climbing up to a three-story building to take a couple shots at Vladeska, sort of stir things up and distract people so that Rogelio, Istora, and Jubilee can sneak around on the ground level and attack her from there.
Speaking of sneaking, could I sneak in one little thing before Lotus takes off?
Yes.
I'd like to hand them each a small little wheel of cheese that I get out of my pack.
Just a Baby Bell?
It's like, yeah, like Baby Bell size. It would be like a Havarti, but with like a little bit of dill in there with it as well. And just say, this is just a small taste of better days ahead of us. Let's all see them together.
Aww.
Maybe he eats it from his hand like a horse. Just kind of like, thank you so much. I have to, like, she's going to reach back and grab both. My hands are full. Where's her eye?
Flat hands, flat hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that with that, all of you get inspiration. In this grand finale, you feel like you need to re-roll. You can do that. Oh no, my internet connection is unstable. God help us. Okay.
I was worried it was mine, so which I think would be nearly worse, because if everything crashes, then everything crashes.
Right. All right. Well, if the DM disappears, we all die. So
no, I'll narrate.
Good luck, everybody. Vladeska,
turns
gives
into
up.
a GM-less game.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all could do it. I have faith. So, Lotus, as you are easily scaling this building with your claws, you get up, and at the same time that you see this, you hear Scary say, "Oh God, here we go again." Because as you pull yourself up onto the roof, sitting on the opposite like ledge of the roof with her legs just sort of dangling over is Joanna, just sort of watching all of the chaos below.
Hi, you're really good at just kind of appearing dramatically. I'm honestly quite inspired by it.
She smiles, and this time it is actually kind of just a smaller, more quaint little smile. It's not a rictus grin. And she smiles at you, kind of just like kicking her feet a little bit, like a kid sitting on a swing. And she says, "Oh yes, I know how to be where I need to be."
What do you need to do this time? Last time you helped me. Time before you like showed me around. What's the third?
Well, the third time I'm hoping that one or more of you can kill Vladeska, and I can be here to watch.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm here for. Well, I'm here to sort of draw a fire and also maybe get a cheeky shot or two in. But yeah, I mean, it's if you want to sit here, I'm not going to say no. Friends are always nice. And I will sit down for a second, just like kick my feet. I'm also just keeping an eye out on the other three, like waiting until there's a moment where they get close. But pretty much have everything all laid out, kind of like a sniper with a briefcase.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You've knolled all your stuff in perfect angles, sitting in a little perfect shot. Not in any threat to you, but just because she didn't last time you saw her. You do notice that Joanna has her spade with her. It's just kind of like sitting next to her within hand's reach, but she's not like tense to get it or anything.
Can I ask a question about your shovel?
You don't want to know about my shovel.
It just makes me feel like icky, and I want to know why. I'm deeply curious about the world around me. If you don't feel comfortable, I understand.
She gets, her eyes have always been extremely intense, like she is boring holes into you, but she gets sort of just this like 1,000-yard stare, and she says, when you have buried as many things as that shovel, all of it sort of just seeps into you. It is not a nice thing, but it helps me do what I need to do.
Well, you're helping save this place, so it's not a bad thing either. It's a thing that's a little haunted, but it's trying its best. And
she kind of like smiles, and her sort of attention returns. But she just rests a head on your shoulder and looks down at kind of like I imagine the camera is like looking at the two of you faced away from all of it. And she like kind of rests her head on your shoulder, and there's like a soft glow from like the firelight, and it all seems very beautiful.
It's Where's My Mind by the Pixies also play?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 100%. And then the camera sort of like pans around, and the light is just like zombies and people on fire and people screaming and like fighting with pikes and like just like just a horrible scene of like violence. So the two of you are in position. Rogelio, Dora, and Jubilee, you are trying to get closer so that when Lotus initiates the attack, you can go in. Do you take off in that direction?
Yeah.
So question, with Rogelio, his whole getup and his sash and everything, does he still sort of resemble a Talon?
No, you think that one of the key things that you've noticed about the Talons, aside from their like the blood Talon tattooed on them somewhere, is that a lot of their armor and uniform like has red somewhere in it. But you just think that the man you met was just terrified, just in general, of the situation. But you don't think anyone, like, you could maybe convince like a regular like Falkovnian, but like another Talon would know you're not a Talon.
I'm not doing get help. I think Rogelio would just like take point on trying to just sneak up as close as possible to Ledeska before,
cool,
unleashing hell.
Everyone roll me everyone except for Lotus, roll me a group stealth check. Or, sorry, hold. Wowza.
What is happening? I have really not rolled anything above a 3.
I'm going to use that inspiration.
Yeah, y'all have inspiration if you want.
And just roll that again. Rough. That's much better. That's a 22.
Quietly eats the cheese.
I'm afraid to use my inspiration for this.
Yeah, over a 22. I will say with at least one of you getting over a 20, y'all are able to get close enough get within like charging distance of Ledeska without drawing a lot of attention. Obviously, obviously a lot of them, everyone really is distracted. There's no one out here who isn't actively fighting something else. You in your like progress towards your location, like you can see that like in other like as you're progressing, looking down like different streets, offshoots away from the square, like you can see like random people like caught out on the street, like holding off like hordes of zombies and just being overtaken. You're starting to realize that like if these buildings weren't here, like if you were just like on a flat plain, it would just be the dead everywhere in every direction. And you're the three of you, give me just flat intelligence checks.
Oh boy. I'm a real go-getter with that one.
Okay, I've just rearranged my screen so I can see and roll at the same time, and now
Hell
I
yeah.
cannot find my...
Oh no.
Hang on. I'm going to find it. Just the regular... Here we go, abilities. Intelligence.
A 9 for me. So.
A 9 for me too, and I have a +4.
Mine's a 12 total.
It was not a high roll, y'all. Goddamn. But Dora, your 12 is high enough. Dora, as you're like all, you're progressing, all of you are able to kind of like look down these streets and see different scenes of undead, like chaos. You don't think that like all of these undead are coming from outside the city. They seem to be like quite literally sort of just coming from everywhere. There doesn't seem to be a specific like front. When an army moves, an army has a front and they like proceed in a direction. This just seems to be coming out of like everything. But you all are within range to kind of charge Vladeska. Rogelio, you give some previously agreed upon signal to Lotus. Yeah, you all freeze. And then Lotus says, there it is. That's the sign. Lotus, you are signaled to take the shot. Vladeska, who you do have a like pretty clear shot too.
Okay. Do I have advantage because she ain't gonna see this coming?
Yes, 100%. Also
Beautiful.
Because of your height too. So
I like offer Joanna a piece of the piece of cheese I got. And like
she takes it
a position.
She like two-hand like squirrel eats it.
And I, of course, am going to shoot these with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God in heaven! I was hoping for nat 20.
I know.
And I'm going to add some dumb stuff to this. So
I'll tell you the first one hits.
Okay. So this is hit number 1. Without anything special. That's hit number 1. I'm also going to Searing Smite this because I want her to burn. So she is going to have to make a con save.
Okay. Let's see. Con save. She gets a 22.
All right. So she saved. That's fine. Also, is she standing over a cliff?
No.
She's standing over a cliff.
That's the best question I've ever heard. No.
I'm good at asking questions you're not going to be ready for. Okay, I have one more thing I need to add. Favorite foe as well. Just trying to remember where I put that move.
And how many times can you move who your favorite foe is?
It's a concentration. Like I just mark
I don't them and then
know.
You have to have concentration on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me add another D4 of damage. Beautiful. And then I have one more, which is from the Gathered Swarm, which does 1d6 piercing. All right. I got some low rolls in there, but that's still fine.
So
universe wants her to live a little longer.
So Vladeska,
my universe,
surrounded by, well, not surrounded, but kind of like at the back of a wall of talons who are hoarding off zombies and various undead coming through the like vanguard, is like calling out like where everyone needs to go and who needs to like shore up defenses here and there, and then just like out of the fucking sky, like it's nighttime in like a medieval setting. There's not like lamps around and stuff, so just out of the dark sky, this like arrow and like hits her like right in the clavicle, and she stumbles back. And then in that same way that your Searing Smite does, the kind of like tracer line of the arrow catches on fire and lights like kind of like fire like splashes across her, and like little like insects, like flying insects, like swarm around her and like start like biting at her. And everyone like panics with kind of no idea like what just happened. Roll me a stealth check. And then perception is wisdom. So let's do this. And then roll for the patrol of guards. Let's see, maybe they can. Okay. What did you get?
I got a 14.
Okay.
It's a bad roll for me.
Thank God. Yeah. The Vladeska.
Oh, I still have inspiration. I was on the fence about using it.
Right now, the patrol of guards are able to like pinpoint where you are.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So everyone's like panicked. They're pointing at. They're pointing at where you are. They look up. They see a hairless tabaxi, kind of tail flicking behind them, standing with a bow, and sitting kind of like at her feet and to the side a bit is the widow of Lecker, just kind of like nibbling on a tiny wheel of cheese, kicking her legs over the side of the roof of this building. And Rogelio, Isadora, Jubilee, you all see an opportunity to rush in.
They would like to throw a dagger and then just rush in.
Yeah, I want to cast. How bad does she look right now?
Oh, she's effed. She's not doing great. She was already very bad off. I will say, everyone roll initiative. We'll give you all a surprise round to rush in, but I just want to get a turn order going before we do.
And what kind of weapon does she fight with?
She fights with two. She has two long swords, and Huanji has told you all that she like fights with them like dual wielding.
Okay, cool.
Rogelio, what'd you get?
19.
19. Okay.
16.
Dora? 16.
16 also.
Isadora, 16. Okay.
You can go before me.
16.
What's your initiative bonus?
+2.
Okay, I feel okay about that.
Lotus, did you roll?
I got a 12.
Got a 12. Okay. If it wants to set it, there we go. Cool. So everyone on the ground right now, y'all have a surprise round to do stuff. We'll start with Rogelio. What do you throw a dagger? Do you throw it at anybody in particular?
I'd let's go.
Cool.
I'm just going straight for the business.
Mm-hmm.
So that one is no. It's a 7.
To hit? Yeah, no.
Siete. But I'm gonna go ahead and use I'm gonna burn a superiority die, as I'm known to do. To use my quick toss finally, and pull out my other dagger, and then make an attempt with that one.
Okay.
And if I hit, I add my superiority die damage. So here's hoping. Donde está dagger? Ahí está dagger. No, it's a 12.
Yeah, no, that does not hit.
No, does not. I still lose the superiority die though. Oh well. I just rush in anyway, just straight towards her.
Fair.
Yeah, you are able to sort of like get into the thick of it. And in this surprise round, next would be Dora. What are you doing? Or Jubilee, what did you guys decide?
Jubilee
Okay.
can go first.
Okay, Jubilee, go for it.
I will. I'm gonna initiate my second blade song. I want to get in there and cast/stab a booming blade,
Okay.
which I think is technically going to be under my spells.
Are you doing this specifically to Vladeska or to
Yes.
the guards around her? Okay.
I'm sorry. Wait, what was the other option?
The guards around her?
her.
Yeah, she has
no,
like a
I'm gonna-
patrol of talons around her. Okay.
I'm gonna Vladeska, with the idea of like locking her in place. Okay, so it is under my spells, but I need to roll with my regular weapon. Let's call that actions. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna try this. This is she is dual wielding with her short swords. Goes in, does the blade song things like, all right, I missed the stabbing before. I would love to get in here this time. Excuse me.
Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to get through here.
It was on an 18 and then it rolled to a 4. I'm going to try my bonus action attack with my second weapon.
Okay.
Second hand. Oh, that's an at 20, I think. That's right. We decided to be.
Is it a, yeah, did you roll a, yeah, that's a nat
Roll
20.
to be.
Yeah, God, fuck me.
Yay.
Roll double your dice, your attack
Oh,
dice.
right. The double. Oh, so nice. So that's a 6 and a 5.
Ooh.
11.
Yeah.
14 and then 14 and then also oh that was it did okay I see it it's 1d6 so that was 14 total also so as gosh I keep forgetting her name. Juby like runs forward, is like, excuse me, I'd just love to get in the stabbing really quickly, and like slashes out with the first one and misses, slashes the second one, and as she feels it hits, casts booming blade, so just this like a ring of like probably an aquamarine lilac lightning just consumes this woman. She's not hurt by it currently, but she is just surrounded by lightning. And then we'll hang. Oh, all right, thank you so much. Stop being evil. Okay, here we go.
So you come in. Vladeska has just got fucked over. Like, she's like, she gets hit with this arrow and then all these bugs and fire out of nowhere, super distracted, and then like narrowly like bobs her head to avoid 2 daggers coming at her. And I think Rogelio moves in, enough of the guards are like distracted by him that like Juby's able to like kind of like sneak low around them and then come in and stab. Well, you come in for like the first one. Vladeska has like just barely like recovered kind of just the scene around her, redirects your first blow, has not got to her second longsword by the time you plunge this short sword into her, and she dies.
Oh no!
Yes. I'm so proud of you, Juby.
You and Ollie did a ton of damage the first time you hit her, and that was only a scant like hour ago. So yeah, you take her down with this dagger, and she stumbles back with it like sticking out of her, and she kind of like grips the hilt like she's gonna pull the dagger out, and then looks you, Juby, like in the eyes, and she says, "Damn you," and then just falls down dead. But you are also, you and Rogelio at least, are still surrounded by like talons right now.
Yeah, even before
Ain't no
we
thing.
acknowledge the talons, Juby like looks. I have an extra 40 feet of 10 feet of movement because Blade Song. I'm going to use that movement to turn around and look at Dora and be like, I did not anticipate it was going to go like that. I thought we were all going to come together and do a thing. I am so sorry. Excuse me.
I will say, Rogelio and Jubilee, if you take movements out of your current area, you will definitely get attack of opportunity on you. Like you are like in a swarm essentially of talons right now. Isadora, yes, because we're doing the surprise round. Isadora, it's your turn.
Isadora is just like, whoa. Okay. Because she's never killed anyone before, so like she was happy to not have to. But she does see that her friends are in trouble. And I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on the talons that are surrounding them.
Okay.
That's a dex save of 12.
They got 13.
God damn it.
I'm so sorry.
We're not going to be friends anymore after this. Okay. So she's like, and then she is going to, that was a waste. I have no first level spell slots left. She's going to look around and see if she can find Wanji. Like, I'm gonna see if she can see him anywhere.
Make a perception check. Oh my god!
She's too angry. She don't see shit.
Oh man, that's brutal. Yeah, you aren't able to see anything in the chaos. Rogelio, make me a perception check.
That is a 15.
15. Jubilee, make me one as well, I'll say.
Okay, I'm on the wrong screen again. Hang on just a second. It's a nice little mobile version, but you have to click between all the different things. You said perception?
Yes, please.
I was almost on the B. Never
Okay.
in my life have I seen a thing.
Jubilee, you wave to Isadora and then are like immediately pulled back into this battle as there's just like talons everywhere. Rogelio, you are just sort of now like you don't think about checking in on Dora. You just always are, just like as habit. You can see coming out of the darkness behind her as she is kind of like scanning the battlefield in like the other direction. You can see some kind of huge lumbering something in the dark, sort of just like lumbering towards like where Dora is. And that ends our surprise round. And that brings us to the top of our first round, which, Rogelio, what is your initiative bonus?
It is a +4.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you will go first then.
I guess so. I suppose I'm going to need to thin out the crowd a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just two-swording it up. I'm going to start just chopping down talons.
Go for it. Whacking and hacking and slashing.
Like so many stalks of celery. I would like to cut them to bits. Yeah, I'm going to make number 10. Donde está? Here it is. Come on, dice, be better. How is a 19 to hit one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will do that with 7 points of cutting damage.
Nice.
Cutting in the face.
Damage. So I'll say, for clarity's sake, as we kind of have throughout most of the show, except for like named people, these talons are just like a swarm essentially. So they're mechanically they're all just sort of the same thing. So, you deal 7 damage. Just with that one, you're able to just like take down the first guy and keep like moving through them. Go for your next one.
Yeah, so I'll use my bonus sack and make a 13.
Nope.
Okay. Then that's what I got.
Yeah, you go to attack another, but one kind of like off to the side of you kind of like gets the better of you and like shoulder checks you. And then it is their turn, kind of just all around Rogelio and Jubilee. They make 3 attacks. So I'm going to do 1 against Rogelio.
I would like to antagonize if possible. Because this Blade Singer AC is, although I have not cast Mage Armor yet. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Said anything.
Does a 17 hit you, Rogelio?
It does.
It does.
Indeed.
Okay.
Just so, as they say.
Just so. They do say that.
Meh. They deal 3 damage to you.
That's fine.
They're starting to get in and kind of like they have seen Vladeska go down now, and they are starting to not only realize the situation, but now they're starting to like fill with fervor.
Much of a quick free reaction can I take to that?
It depends what you want to do.
I want to, with one of my rapiers in hand, just wherever I got stabbed, take close like a thumb of the blood and just like do that. And then just like lower my mask. It's like, it's on now.
I mean, I will certainly let you do that narratively.
Yeah.
But, and they are like, they kind of rise to meet that situation. I think something like that also bolsters you and puts you in the mode to just like, okay, let's fight a ton of dudes. But again, the absolute nightmarish hellscape of chaos around you is what these people do every month. So it's going to be hard to sway them, but they make 1 attack on Jubilee. Does a 18 hit you?
13. Yeah. What did you say they did? I could use a reaction here, but I'm gonna use a reaction, but I'm gonna use it to Hellish Rebuke. So
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
They hit for 6.
Okay. Oh goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Apply. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just Hellish Rebuke that guy. As you
go
do.
for it.
Got to click over to the spell screen. Hellish Rebuke. Oh God, it's like a class skill or something because I'm a tiefling. Oh no.
If you go to the actions one, you'll be able to find it on reactions.
Okay. We'll do that. Actions. Reactions. Hellish Rebuke. Use. Whew. Oh my goodness.
Going for a jog.
Did it work?
I don't see it.
I don't see anything. Oh no. Okay, this is excellent live.
How's everyone doing? You all got your popcorn and your sodas?
I'm just gonna roll 3d10. We're gonna do that.
There we go.
And roll.
Nice.
Phew. Okay, here we go. We did it. 9, 8 to 19 points of damage on that
Holy
guy.
shit.
Would love to take out as many people as I can. Just as she's being stabbed. It's like, oh, family friendly way of saying fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, multiple talons come in and sort of like harry you with spears. And one of them gets in and you just sort of light them up with fire in response. Now I'm going to roll something off screen real quick. Make sure that it's going only to me. Yep. Boop. Boop. Fuck. Okay. And now it is Jubilee's turn.
Oh gosh, I should do the smart thing and cast Mage Armor. Or I could do the fun thing and just keep attacking. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go little short sword. I'm gonna be using the instead of booming blade, green
Flame blade.
Yes, that one. So first attack. Oh gosh, I thought that was a 1, and I was like, well, there's a chance.
Nope. A 12 does not hit.
All right, and a bonus action. 15, 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Does the bonus action attack still apply green flame blade?
You know, there's been some contention about that, and I'm not sure. I think it's supposed to post Tasha's, but I honestly could not tell you. So I will allow you to make the ruling on that. I would like to say yes, but like
I would also like to say yes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll hey, I'm not going to be voted down here. That's fine. Cool. So you hit. So roll your damage for your offhand. Okay,
so
8.
8, and then 3 additional fire damage to like just the next closest person.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Except Rahelio. as she set Rahelio on fire, I'm listening.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. Listen, it's been a day.
Yeah, you light up a guy nearby. All right, I'm going to roll 2 more things off screen because there's like a whole citywide battle happening.
I hate that for us.
Hate that for us.
Oofa doofa. Okay.
I love that.
That's right. Okay. Anyway, Dora, it is your turn, and you are watching everything that's happening with Rahelio and Jubilee when you hear this sort of booming like approach behind you, and you turn around to see that getting very close to you is what Huan Ji described a few nights past, a sort of amalgamation of different zombies mashed into one giant sort of intelligence of just parts and bits, just like slowly like crawling its way towards you. This thing is huge. It's gigantic. And it is kind of like lumbering through the street in your direction. It is not necessarily, it's hard to gain like insight into what it's thinking or planning, because it's just like this sort of like alien shape of mashed up parts. So you don't know if it's necessarily like heading like for you or just like in the direction and you're like in its path. But yeah, that is what you see.
Great. Love that. I'm going to move away, like towards, not within hitting striking distance of the people who are harrowing my friends, but away from the thing that is coming. And I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at somebody who is currently attacking Rahelio.
Cool, go for it.
They have to roll a dex save of 12.
A dex save of 12, okay. Okay, 4. Cool. And then dex save to everyone. Oof, yeah, they failed big time.
Yay.
They got something bad.
Okay,
5.
so they take, ooh, I rolled an 8. They take 8 points of radiant damage as Isadora sees turns over her shoulder to see the thing, turns back around, she lights up, and then out from her pushes this radiant energy and descends upon the person who is attacking Rahelio.
Perfect. Yeah. they're up on this like kind of like slightly lifted platform with this barricade. There's like one or two Talons left alive, like still fighting after y'all have done this, and that brings us to to another turn that I'm not going to show you all.
You could though.
No.
If you want it.
Actually, this might pop up for all of you because I didn't change my stuff. Okay, good. It didn't. Interesting, though. That is interesting. When you think about the greater, like ramifications of everything. DC of 5 plus that. Oh, no, that's a different thing. Where's the... That can't be real. Oh, okay, there it is. Cool. Something happens. It's gonna be weird. And now it is Lotus's turn.
I might want to perceive just to see the state of what everything's looking like.
Mm-hmm. Everything like else, just everything out in the square.
Yeah, survey. I have like the high ground, so I might want to survey the battlefield.
Roll,
just see what's happening.
Roll perception with advantage.
You keep giving me an advantage, and that's where you're playing with a lot of fire. See, 23.
I do when I can. You can see, kind of keeping your attention specifically like on the square. You can see that the battle has started shifting in like the undead's favor. Kind of once Vladeska stopped calling out like commands to everyone, there's like not dissension, but there's confusion amongst the ranks now, and the undead are starting to like creep in and gain their advantage. But more specifically with F23, you can see that near like one of the bonfires, kind of silhouetted from your perspective, you can see Huanji and Worthy fighting.
Who's winning?
Worthy is winning.
I don't want to hurt Huanji. I feel bad hurting Worthy. I might have to let the zombies figure out that one. I'm gonna let.
Just let God sort it out. It's fine.
Let Lathander do it.
Like Lotus is not the type of person to like play underhanded. That's why I very much didn't want to do the whole like just jump them after. We'll let that one sort itself out. Oh boy. What can I see from like of my friends from up here?
You see that Rogelio and Jubilee, together with Dora's help, kind of have the situation handled where they're at, but you kind of like look down the building and see you see the what is called a clot of zombies, the massive kind of amalgamation lumbering towards the street and starting to like come into the square now, and it is like the width of the street and probably like 2 stories tall. It's massive.
All right, it's big. This is there's got to be people left to save after all this. So is Joanna still up there with me too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She finished her cheese and she did a small clap when Vladeska died.
Her whole action.
Think I'm gonna aim for the clot then and do another searing strike on it.
Okay.
These things famously aren't fired good.
Exactly. That's what it actually says on its sheet.
Famously bad at fire. And I might use my inspiration. So it looks
You're
like it won't-
welcome too. Yeah, because that one won't hit.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah, that one would though.
That yep.
Ooh. Okay,
Roll damage.
So, let me get all my fun damage. Good. Searing smite. You better work. You better do more than one. So also the thing will have to make a con save.
So you got a 1, but it does double damage against this thing. So you deal 2 fire damage, 12 bow damage, and then what did I need to roll? A con save?
Yes.
It got a 21.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I've got its attention at the very least. So this thing's very tall. Cool.
When the arrow kind of strikes into it and is met by the fire, it sort of like ripples out, and then the whole thing sort of like shifts momentum and starts like climbing up the building.
That's fine. I have a plan for that next turn.
Hard pass.
And now it's the clot's turn.
Damn it.
It gets to what?
And what's fun about this and really all the zombies so far is that they also have a climb speed, Lotus.
That's fine. I'm fine with this. I have one more trick up my sleeve when it comes to moving.
So this thing just like kind of like rolls up the in like a wave up the building and comes up. Make me okay, never mind. You don't have to do this right now.
Come on, man.
So it is going to make a slam attack. Actually, oh, that's fun and disgusting. Roll me a strength save.
Okay. That really rolled there. All right.
I got her, folks. I got her.
Not necessarily. Because I do have a move I can still use.
It starts doing slam poetry. Exactly.
I have a move.
It kind of like waves, and this giant like clump of corpses flies through the air, slams into you, and like grips you, and you are restrained. And
what
you
was
also
the save on that?
16.
Okay, because I still have a move I could use to get out of this. I have a scary move that I've never used.
Okay, well, you take 20 damage.
All right, so let me try the scary move real quick before I take that.
Okay.
What is the hit die of a ranger? Don't ignore that one. That was an
clue.
accident.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah, let me look up ranger hit die. Because that's hit die is a D10. Okay. So I'm going to roll a D10 and add that to my save.
Okay.
It is a scary move because Scary's invested in me. God damn it, Scary. It's fine. I still have a whole inspiration. Nope, I use my inspiration. It's fine. I'm taking damage now.
Now the ball's
20
in my
points
hands.
is so many points.
Yeah, so
that's the first time I've been hit.
What is this?
You are struck for 20 damage and like encased in this just like fleshy tomb. And when it first like came over the like lip of the roof, you could hear Scary like, "Oh my fucking god, what is that?" And then the clump hits you for 20 damage. Takes okay, which can be free. large object with AC 10, 25 points. Oh, you might be in luck, you lucky bastard. 1 second. I misspelled dndbeyond.com, and now it's like, do you want this like obvious like cyber hacking website to destroy your computer? I was like, no. Don't want that one. Thank you. Okay. I can't believe I might actually save you from my own extremely incredible roll. Let's see, do we have anything here? Yes, we do. Additional 10 feet, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Roll a d20 real quick. Against you're so lucky. I hate you so much. No, it should be this.
The devil's luck.
Okay, and then which one is it? Okay. All right, here we go. Where's the D8? There it is. Okay, well, you're not that lucky. You are entombed in this kind of fleshy glob. And you hear it very muffled, Lotus, but the rest of you are able to hear very clearly this inhuman scream of like feral rage as Joanna grabs her spade, sticks it in the like side of the wall, like just under her feet, leaps on, like bounces on it, leaps into the air, and from her hand, like her whole hand lights on fire, and she just flings fire like out of the air. And it hits this, it doesn't hit the clot, it hits the like fleshy casing around Lotus, who is like, you are like literally like completely covered by this thing. But she is not able to destroy it in one hit. And now it is Rogelio's turn.
Fleshy casing, just like a Mars bar. So how many of these rent-a-cops?
Not many. You think a stiff wind could finish them off?
Yeah. Well, you should see Rogelio on burrito night then. Sorry, I apologize for that. That was trash.
Just savor it. Just live in the moment.
Right. So Rogelio's concerned for Lotus because that thing looks like a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Are these few Paul Blarts that are left, if I just bolted to try to save Lotus, would they get probably still close enough to? Okay, then I'll just go in and just work my magic. We'll make one rapier attack at these remaining ragamuffins. That's a 14. Gonna get them.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. And then we'll try bonus action with the offhand. Ugh, and I don't think a 9 is going to either. In that case, I'm just tired, as I often say. So I'm just going to use my action surge. Just try a third time to see if anything pops off here. That is garbage. It's a 10.
To hit? Nope.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I got.
Brutal. Yeah, you they are furious as you have killed their leader and a bunch of their friends. And now it is their turn. So they are going to attack you, Rogelio, for an 8. Okay, so that misses. And for a 12. So that probably misses as well. And I'll say that their health is reduced so much that I'm not going to make a third attack. So that will bring us to Jubilee's turn.
Let's see. Juby would also like to go just help out Lotus and see what's going on. Just yo, you know what? I'll be right there. Just a second. How many? There are still some people to make like attacks of opportunity left. How do I want to do this? Okay, I think I'm gonna risk it. I've got a blade song still. I've got a reaction as needed. I'm going to try and make a dash for that. Well, I mean, I guess for the base of the thing. I don't know how I'll get up there. That's a later problem.
Cool. So they make one opportunity attack against you as you move out of range.
It's not a 20 though, because that would be absurd. It's an attack of opportunity. It can't be a 20.
So, what did we agree the Bs were?
We said 0.
-1.
So they get a crit on you, and they're gonna do 4d6 damage.
4d6
in this economy.
My heroic rescue is about to be so
Oh
embarrassing.
man.
Okay, wait. What is the total? And this actually might not matter because it's a crit.
It's a 7. Oh, the total thing.
What
to
is
hit?
Yeah.
It was like 23, but it's
okay,
a nat
never
20,
mind.
so it
Okay,
hits. And they deal 7 damage to you.
Oh, 7 damage total? 4d6?
Yeah.
You got lucky. Don't question it.
Wait. Oh no, I did 4d4. You're right.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No,
I said don't question it.
You
You
were
don't
too
teach
late.
her. Do I have homework?
You were too.
No, you were 7.
You waited until I asked if you had homework.
Yeah. So let me. I rolled to self. I want to roll to everyone, so I'll re-roll. That's lower.
I
They
gave
do
myself
13.
so many.
They deal 13 damage to you.
Okay.
Lotus
such
is
a bummer.
honorable. I'm not. Next time, we don't say it.
Okay. And I can't use my inspiration to force you to re-roll, can I?
No.
Okay, so great. This is fun. Jubilee breaks away very confidently to go help out Lotus. Dear friend Lotus, and then immediately just takes a stab at the back and collapses.
You try to you see what's going on the roof, and desperately try to save your friend.
It was very heroic.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But a crit, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. Yeah, you are brought down.
So annoying.
And I already did my behind the scenes rolls for these turns, so now it is Dora's turn.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Did she at least get away? Or, like, is she super
Just, like,
close
take a
to them
step
still?
and it's like,
Fuck.
She's
So I
still
can't run in
close to
there
them. Yeah,
without getting an attack of opportunity on myself.
you can enter into their range. You can't leave their range.
Yeah,
but
you
then they'll attack me. I can't have that either.
Yeah, you should leave. Like, Juby deserves this.
I will say, because you all, it doesn't show you the initiative tracker for some reason, but normally you would be able to look at it. So I don't feel like it's cheating to tell you. Rogelio's turn comes up before theirs does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can get to Juby and heal her, and potentially they won't be able to attack you because they're very close to dead.
Okay. In that case, and I mean, honestly, like, at this point, Isadora is not thinking like I am, so she does run in. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Awesome.
Right on. 14
Hell yeah.
plus, I think it's plus my
4,
modifier.
3?
It would be 2. I
I mean,
think.
2?
Let me double check. Because I know.
Yeah, because it'll be plus your charisma instead of your wisdom.
Yeah. Your spell casting ability, so it's 2. So 16 total points of healing to Izzy. Or to
Oh, so
Jubilee.
that puts me almost back at full, actually. So
Holy
That's hilarious.
Wizards.
Sad. You
I know,
last
it's the problem, right? That's exactly
she
it.
runs over and like cradles your head in her hands, and she's like, Jubilee, no, wake up. You're fine. It's gonna be okay. And just like right on your forehead. And you wake up to just this like shining beam of light.
Oh, it's just like the voices said. Manage that, and then also I had a really good one for this, and now it's gone. Come back to me.
Okay.
It was going to be very touching.
We'll do a one-liner check-in later. Cool. So Isadora is okay. So that's you don't have any bonus actions or anything else,
My only bonus actions are healing word. So
right?
yeah.
Cool. So
No one else get hurt because I only
now-
have one more spell slot. Like
Too late.
oh, you lucky MFers. Okay. Now it is Lotus's turn. Lotus,
What can I do?
yeah, you feel like the heat as this blast of fire hits this casing. It is very difficult to breathe inside of this. And after that fire hits, you hear what sounds like a mad dog like ripping at this casing, trying to like get into it. You let me see. Let me double check what it was. So you take 3d6 damage at the start of your turn.
Not great.
How does 8 damage treat you?
I'm still up.
Better than more.
Impressive.
I'm a ranger. I'm slightly bulky.
Okay.
Can I claw my way out?
You can damage it to try to claw your way out. It has already taken some damage from Joanna.
What can I use to damage it with?
I'll say any melee, anything
Alright.
within melee.
I have
range.
2 short swords.
Okay.
Go at it.
Hit.
These are both of my hits.
Hit. Was that a nat 20 or is that a
No, it was a 19.
19? Ah, okay.
All right, that's
Both hit
first
for sure.
hit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I have one more hit. This one doesn't have the +4 because I don't have 2 weapon fighting as like a thing. Ha! Worth it.
It is, yeah, it's enough. You are able to sort of like cut out of this thing, and sort of like hunched over you, looking at you, is this sort of like slack-jawed, half extremely pale widow woman, half like transformed wolf thing.
Wow.
Looking over you, just like drooling and just like, and it like as soon as it like pulls the flesh tomb away and you are able to get out, it like scurries like away from you.
I think like I look like really worse for wear. I'm just like I can tell it's Joanna.
Yeah.
I'm good. You're not gonna lose me. I do think we should probably get off of here. I have a little bit of gusto left in me. And how's it looking below me? Like in terms of will I like go down immediately into just a horde?
there's room around you that's safe. I will say like the actual clot itself is still up on this roof with you. It's not within like attack of opportunity range. You can still like move how you want, but just for clarity's sake, like it is still up here and alive. And
That's fine. I like tell Joanna, like, let's reconvene with my friends. They can make sure we're okay. I don't know if you'll understand me.
Yeah. You say that, and she will act on her turn, which goes after the clock.
Okay. I don't want to seem like I'm abandoning her, but I don't have the energy to stand up here.
The
either.
webs we weave.
I think I will use feline agility so I can double my movement speed for this turn.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So I have 40 climbing /60 walking. Would
Mhm.
40 be enough to get down?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'll get down and I will take a position with my arrow just so she knows that I have her back, but from a distance where my better weapon.
Right.
And that's what I'll do.
Cool. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. All right. It is the plot's turn. Oh, man. What does this thing want to do that I actually want it to do? Oh, right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Wow. I mean, the dice give and they take away, and they just do, sometimes they hurt you, sometimes they help you. This thing goes after Joanna and crit fails. And before it is able to get to her, she gets an attack of opportunity as it enters her range. I'll say because of the crit fail. And so let's see if she can do some good damage to it. The dice always roll right behind this little UI element, and it drives me insane. Cool. So she does not, but she is able to sort of like fend it off, so it's not able to attack her again. And well, is that true? She missed. Yeah, I'll roll another attack. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that one does hit. And that one does 14 damage, but she is still standing. And then it will be her turn. And she is going to how does this one work? Okay, that's not what I want. Okay. Okay. She casts a spell. No one's on the roof to see it or know what it is, but it works for her. What is this? Okay, so 11. Okay. Okay. You, Lotus, you hear kind of like a sound like if you were to grip a like piece of wood and like twist it, the sound that the bark would make. And then you kind of like see and hear slightly like the clot make like a big swing, and then nothing after that. And that puts us at the top of the round with Rogelio. You have Dora right in front of you, like over Jubilee. Jubilee's just been healed, brought back. And you have dorks all around.
Yeah. I just try to make sure I'm between them and Dora, and then just come in, start stabbing the garbage.
Go for it.
Okay, first one. How our dice work? 17.
There you go. It's a hit. Roll damage.
All right. How about that? This one is going to be 9 points of damage.
They die. You take out the last of this dude. You are able, in like kind of one fluid motion, to just sort of move through the like 3 remaining talons and drop them all around the same time that Jubilee stands up.
Like my own green flame blade. Just one, and maybe a headbutt on the last one.
Perfect.
I'm gonna move since they're down.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Dora's taking care of Jubilee here. I want to move towards Lotus.
Okay. Yeah, Lotus is down on the ground with you.
Mm-hmm. And just do pose up a storm, just side by side, ready to face the odds.
Yeah, you like Super Sentai like pose next to each other. A light seemingly from nowhere silhouettes you. Wow. And now do one quick roll behind the scenes. Okay. Fuck. Okay. And now it is Jubilee's turn.
So yeah, Juby stands up. I think the first thing she sees, obviously, is Doran. Like, oh my god, princess, let me tell you, the glowing light thing, it's really quite a look. And also, thank you for saving my life. I just had to take a really quick nap. What had happened was I was going to attack, and then I tripped and fell unconscious. So thank you for your, like, wow. I mean, wow, what quick, excellent stuff. We should help you. And then as she's saying that, like, looks up just in time to see Rogelio take out the rest of these. All right. Okay, well, this is y'all very efficient. This is really nice. Will, like, stand up and pull Dora up with her. And then kind of look, like, assess the scene, see Rogelio and Lotus posing. Be like, oh, we're posing? I missed the poses. We should go pose.
You see from where you are, like, you can very clearly see this, like, giant zombie clot on the roof of this building, and then just sort of the general, like, chaos around you. Lotus, when you landed, did you let anyone know about either Joanna or
It is all I am talking about. I am not
Okay.
concerned about my own
and then did you mention seeing Worthy and Huanji?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, Jubilee, you know that Joanna is seemingly still up on the roof with this, like, horrible, extremely powerful monster. And then you also know that in the opposite direction, Huanji and Worthy are, like, fighting it out.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do the smart thing. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor.
There you go.
Let me. Oh, that's just gonna add what, like 4 or 5? I have to remember.
I think it's 5.
So I'm gonna cast Mage Armor, and then I'm gonna do the dumb thing.
There we go.
And use my bonus action Misty Step to just jump up onto that rooftop. Be like, all right, I got it for sure this time, guys. No worries, it's gonna be great. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Yeah. So you are up on the roof with the clot, with Eddie Murphy's the clumps, and then I'm roll a thing behind the thing, and this is not looking great for them. Okay. And now it is Dora's turn.
Okay. So we've got the weird clump thing.
Mhm.
What kind of undead are coming towards us?
You are seeing the fight kind of fall out of the Falkovnians, and more undead are getting sort of, like, through to the square. So you have a couple swarms of undead kind of coming in your direction slowly. And then you have the clot up on the roof, and Huanji and Worthy a little ways off by a bonfire.
How far away are the undead that are coming towards us?
Probably like 60 feet or so.
Okay. Do I have any idea of how long it's going to take them before they get here?
2 turns.
Okay. I'm going to wait on that then. I'm going to cast... how far away is the clump thing?
It's on the roof of a building pretty close to you. It's about 30 feet up. It's within range of just about any ranged spell.
Okay, I'm going to do Sacred Flame then. Con
Okay.
save 12, or Dex save 12.
Dex save 12. Okay, it got a natural 1.
Are you kidding me?
Oof.
1 point of radiant damage.
Oofa doofa.
How is this happening? It's Dare. Dare has taken all of my luck. I have none of
It's just
that.
absorbing all of
I've been
good luck.
absorbing the luck for a while.
All
I think at this point
I've
it's
been
not my
rolling
fault.
poorly this whole campaign.
Yeah, so you do technically 2 points of damage because it doubles it. Yeah, anything else? All right. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Cool. And now, Lotus, it is your turn.
Perfect. I'm sorry, I need to finish spelling out this dumb joke I was gonna make. There we go. That's important to me that I made the joke that I'm a luckybus. Anyway,
All right. Yeah.
Important to me that I made that joke.
For the folks at home, it was worth it.
Am I gonna climb up can I move back far enough to get a decent shot with the distance?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Then I'm going to aim for the clot from a distance then.
Okay, go for it.
Please. Whew. Does that do it?
To hit, yes.
Oh, thank God. All right. Come on, bugs. We got a lot to do. Got to put in some work here.
Okay.
Thank you. Finally got decent rolls. All right. There we go.
Yeah, you're able to damage this thing. It is still looking strong. As it kind of flattens out, seeps over the. Oh wait, no, Jubilee's up here. Interesting.
Oh no.
Look, I'm hitting it though, so maybe it's coming towards us now.
So it Jubilee, give me a stealth roll.
Okay. How important would you say?
Extremely.
Have I used my inspiration yet? I don't think I did. Oh, I haven't used it. Okay, good. So I'm gonna do that. That's a 1 for anyone watching. So I'm just gonna
go for it.
Gonna.
Wow. Wow.
Did you double nat 1?
A double nat 1. Truly.
The world wanted you to fail.
Truly remarkable.
This is because I asked about the dice before.
Replay. I want to. Can we get the refs in to do an instant replay? I don't want to see the tape on
that. So Jubilee, you appear on this roof, and this
shouldn't have said anything about bugs. Shouldn't have said it.
It just kind of rounds on you. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. It does a 10 hit you.
No.
You are so lucky. All right. I want these to go to everyone and not just me. Why are they? There we go.
Joanna better be okay. I'll die before Joanna does.
Does a 21 hit you?
The 21?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna shield reaction that one because I cannot. I refuse to get knocked out again before I get to hit something.
So this huge essentially limb made out of all kinds of stuff slams against you, and you just barely bring up this shield, and it splatters around it. And now I'm going to this one. I don't want to send to everyone. Nice. Okay, Rogelio, it is your turn.
secret with these rolls. Shit. Rogelio probably doesn't have the climb to get up there. So he uses his grappling hook. his Batman gun. And no, that doesn't happen.
I think I'd suggest maybe helping Huanji or
Worthy.
Yeah, worthy. I could not space on the name.
Yeah, but which one?
Save who's ever winning.
Roll it.
No,
roll
save
a
whoever's losing, so they're easier to kill.
roll a
Either
perception
way.
check.
I will.
Rogelio.
I will perceive.
I'll
I'll
perceive
say
so
if
hard.
we save one
Did
of them.
Did it go? No, it didn't. Okay, here we go. How is a 12 do?
You see that in that direction you're able to like look through kind of like the like thickening like horde of undead shambling towards you all. You see the firelight, and over the like heads of the undead you see a battle axe raise and then lower, and you just hear a sickening crunch.
Sounds like that took care of itself.
Well, there's still one of them.
So it looks like Worthy's left.
Maybe.
Which one had the? I feel like Worthy
had the axe. Mm-hmm.
Kwanji also could have taken it in a scuffle. I know. I can tell. I can see the smile.
Yeah, I've seen cartoons before. Wait, they always want you to think.
Okay, so Worthy had the axe. Hwanji was on the drums. Who was on synth? No. If Rogelio, would Rogelio have to go through zombies to get to them?
I will let you make an athletics check to go through the zombies to get to them if that's what you want to do.
What about an acrobatics to get over them?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rogelio's going to try to like skirt his way through this horde of zombies. Mother of pearl. That is a 9 acrobatic. You
are able to. Similar to a large pile of rubble, you are able to get about halfway through and then tumble down into this like horde.
I guess I'm cutting zombies then.
It sounds like it, yeah.
I'm not getting through them. There's more than one way to get through zombies.
Like my grandmother always says.
So let's see. Cool. So it is you have 2 actions when you make an attack, and you already use your action surge. So then so it is Jubilee's turn. Excuse me. Jubilee, you are up on the roof getting attacked by this giant clot of zombies.
Trying. It did not do so because I was valiant. I and also Jubilee is determined to recoup earlier embarrassments. And just defeat the heck out of this thing.
Before I do that, give me a perception check.
Okay, that's fine. This is fine. Percept. Oh, that was almost a 1 team. It's a 13.
Behind, like kind of like past the clot, you can see Joanna collapsed on the roof. She has like barky like skin and is also like just now kind of like unwerewolfing.
Barky like tree bark, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like tree bark.
Like I don't even know what barky skin would look like. But okay. Oh no, she's a werewolf. I got confused. Okay, let's see. The thing is between me and her though. Mm-hmm. Getting over there would probably incur an attack of opportunity, which I shouldn't do. I can learn my lesson. Okay. It's just a yell over. Hi, we haven't met, but I'm a friend.
No response.
All right, that's fine. Stay down. And then just turn and look squares, look at the glot thing, and be like, all right, so before that was a little embarrassing for me. I'm going to go ahead and try it. All right. We're going to cast, let's do a Burning Hands. Yeah. Hang on, sorry, I'm going back to my spells. Let's do a Burning Hand situation here. So can you make me a dex save?
Yes.
That thing looks really dexterous.
I got an 8.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Oh, come on!
That's still double.
It's still double, yeah.
Yeah, okay. 3 6s.
And it's also
enough.
So I have been forgetting to include this with a lot of stuff. it's like it counts as a swarm, so area of effect stuff like burning hands is also doubled. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, how much damage was it again?
5. It
5.
was 5. So
I'm gonna say I'm not going to quadruple it because I don't know the actual rule, but I will triple it. Nah, fuck it. I'll quadruple it. Yeah, so it actually does 20 damage.
Oh, okay. Well, that's less
as you
embarrassing.
light this thing up.
Fuck. Okay, so the smart thing to do would be just end the turn. Just end the turn. Just end the turn on a high. But I have a really great AC, so I'm going to try and make it over to Joanna. I have a really good AC right now.
Oh, the gambles we take for love. Okay. So you, all right, are going for Joanna, which incurs an attack. Oh, you're so lucky. I rolled a 2. Yeah. So you get to Joanna. So now you are standing between the clot and her. And that will be the end of your turn. The zombies all around Rogelio are going to make an attack on him.
Got better things to do.
Okay, the first one misses. The second one misses. Does an 18 hit you?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, finally. Okay. You take 2 damage. Y'all's rolls rubbed off on me now.
Yeah, fine, I'll take it.
Cool. And now it is Dora's turn.
Dora's gonna look back and forth between Lotus and Jubilee and Rogelio and not sure what to do, and remembers all of the times that Rogelio has gotten her out of scrapes and bandaged hurt knees and made her cookies, and she runs over, squeezes herself in front of Rogelio and I'm going to channel divinity and turn undead. It's a wisdom save of 12.
A wisdom save of 12. Okay. And they got a 10.
Fantastic. Goodness gracious. I was going to be so mad if you passed. Like, seriously, my heart is beating so hard because I'm like, I have to have something succeed today. Okay, so they have to use their turn to get away from me. They cannot come towards me. And as long as none of you hit them, they will continue getting away from me. And so what Rogelio sees is just bright light. Like, it's too bright to even see Isadora. And yeah. So they have to leave Rogelio alone.
So,
and that's what she says. She jumps in front of Rogelio and goes, leave my Rogelio alone.
And this kind of like new sun like blooms in the middle of this huge like horde of zombies. We look down at it from above and it and like they all like stumble and are like pushed backwards. And now Rogelio and Isadora, you have like a clear shot to and clear sight to Worthy standing over Huanji's body, bloody axe, like limp in her hand, clearly just beat to shit after fighting him one-on-one, and just kind of like heavy breathing. And she's like holding up like kind of like one hand like against the light. Juby, similarly, you look out and you see you're like standing in a defensive pose over Joanna with this like horrible like monster, and you see this light bloom below, extremely bright, and you hear just kind of like in your head you hear just that small voice of Pose say, "Yeah, all right. You got this." And now it is Lotus's turn. You similarly from the ground have seen all of this light.
I am focused on one thing, which is helping stop that clot.
Yeah, stop that clot.
So I am trying to hit it once again.
Definitely hits.
Bugs, we are in concert here. We must work together. Actually, I have a fun idea with the bug. So when I make an attack on something, I can move it horizontally if they fail the strength save. If I were to horizontally move it, let's say 15 feet, would gravity then do its due?
One, does it mention a size limit?
I feel like it didn't. Let me double check it. It super didn't.
Nice. Two, I will say just for your sake, this thing has an extremely high strength, but you are willing to try, or you are able to try.
I can go with what I know. I can go with the guaranteed damage then. That would be very fun. I'll go with the guaranteed, and that worked out.
Nice. So 11 damage total. Cool. Yeah, you are able to hit this thing again. And it now, after Jubilee has lit it up, it now kind of like rolls down the building towards you, Lotus. Clearly,
am I still not in opportunity range?
You don't have an opportunity. You wouldn't have an opportunity attack against it.
Would it have an opportunity on me if I moved?
Let's see. So it can do. No, it has not gotten to like melee range to you yet. But it is now at the base of the building coming towards you because you had backed off to range it.
About to play Calvin Ball because I have feline agility again because I did not move last turn. Going right back up there.
Cool. So it ends its turn at the base of the building, trying to get away from all of the fire that Jubilee has. And I'm going to roll. Okay, yeah, you're going to want to get up there. And Rogelio, it is your turn. You are within melee range. Well, after a move, you can move into melee range with Worthy from where you're at. With the undead now like cleared around you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And as I come in, it's gonna be similarly to when I approached Archimedes or whoever that horse dude was.
Aloysius?
Yeah, that's the one. He used to make albums with Big Boy, right? Yeah.
It's the same exact guy. It's so weird how it turned out.
But yeah, no, as
his life went in a weird direction.
Just like scraping the cobblestones with my blades, and I'm just gonna come in and say, I'm here to help you keep a promise.
Nice. Worthy, like, yeah, as you approach, Worthy just like puts one hand down as the light like fades and just like readies her axe.
Alrighty. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with good old fashioned. Does a 14 hit?
Does a 14 hit? That's such a good question. No, it is just shy.
Okay. So then I'm going in with my bonus attack. Oh, that spun weird. Does a 19?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So with the 19, I am also going to burn another superiority die to make that a distracting strike. So if anyone else attacks Worthy before the start of my next turn, they get advantage. And let me roll my damage on that, which will be 9, and then my superiority die on top of that, which is another one of these. So 11 total.
Okay. Yeah, she is looking in a bad way. You do the like double jump stab. The second one gets her like in a pretty like vital area. And even just like, I mean, you know fighting very well. You can tell like she does not have a lot of fight left in her, just like even just energy wise, having to go toe to toe with Huan Ji. And now it is her turn.
Maybe with that.
Not already drinking. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Oh, and it's once a day. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Worthy steps back, the flame like of the bonfire kind of like licking at her tail, and she just screams, like lets out this like bone shaking roar, and she is going to get advantage on an attack against you, Rogelio.
Hello, me.
I am going to set this to. Oh, it's already set to everyone. Good, because she rolled a crit. So she is gonna roll double the old dice, which for a big old battle axe is going to be 2d12.
About to find out.
How many does he have after 17 damage?
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my reaction to burn another superiority die and parry that.
Okay.
So we're gonna bring that down by plus my level, so 9.
Wow. Okay, so you take 6 points of damage.
All right. So after 6, Rogelio's not looking great, but not bad. 25.
Okay. Yeah, this the like weight of this hit, even like parrying it, is enough to like your arms hurt now. Like just from navigating that attack. Jubilee, it is your turn. You are alone on the roof with Joanna behind you.
I mean, I just came up. Oh, hang on. I just came up here to kill the thing, and now the thing's back down there. Oh my god. Oh, right. Because this is the last game and we're in full chaos mode, I just have no choice. God, I really want to jump on it. I really just want to jump on it.
You want to just like full like Dragon Age Warden down into
That's exactly. I want both swords, green flame blade, just right through the most vulnerable looking spot. What is that going to cost? I feel like right now, mechanically keeping its attention on me because I have sort of the most hit points, and that's not true. I have middling hit points still, but also I have the highest AC, and I just
roll. To start this off, roll an acrobatics check for me. We'll say DC 10. Because it's literally like right below you.
Right, yeah. See, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, and I'll have no regrets. If this is a 1, I'm going to die. Oh, it's a 20.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Cool. So roll, we'll say, how do I want to do this?
Lotus is already up on the roof again, right?
Lotus can be at the start of Lotus's turn.
All right. So
easily.
assuming I pass Lotus as I leap off the side. Your friend's okay, but not great.
Roll an attack with advantage.
Oh, yes. I have to switch back to the right menu. There's 1. That's a fucking 20, and then I'm gonna roll again.
Yeah.
I don't know, for fun. So nice.
That's good shit. Okay, yeah. So with a nat 20, so wow. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. So I was going to have you roll 2 short sword attacks. So roll 2 short sword attacks and double both their dice as you plunge down like onto this thing with both swords at once.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll. Wait, roll damage or roll an attack?
Damage.
Okay, got it. That's a 6 plus 3. There's a 9.
roll one more d6 for that.
And then that's a 2.
Okay, so 9 plus 5 is 14, and then roll 2 more 2d6s.
It's a 6. This is so much fun when I'm stabbing. And a 4.
Okay, 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 18. Okay, you leap off of this building.
Oh wait, I told like this is all factoring in the green flame blade damage as well.
You didn't mention green flame. What do you want to do with that?
No, I was jumping off. I said I'm going to green flame blade.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Sense.
So roll whatever else you add to green flame.
It's gonna it's like a D8 and then a D8
okay.
per kit. So I'm gonna call it 2d8 fire
Sure.
damage. Hang on, 2d8 fire. 7 and an 8. Oh god, I love this game.
Green flame blade doesn't
shit.
that jump from person to person?
It does. So I don't know.
Would that be counted as an AOE?
Like, let's go all in. It's the last game.
It's dead, y'all. Let's all just take a fucking breath and
Izzy
find
and
out.
I are ready to rule where
listen.
situation.
So, Chuby, you leap off the roof, like at the exact same time that your blades like start to ignite with this green flame, and you land in this thing with like not a shockwave like out, but like a pillar of fire, and it like just sort of like falls into like all of the like pieces that it's made out of, and you are standing in this like smoking like
it's the 3-point landing
zombies. Yeah. Yeah. And that brings us after Juby is Isadora. Dora, you have the undead handled. They have all like fucked off away from you now. So you have a very wounded Worthy and Rogelio in front of you.
Okay, so Isadora is convinced that Lathander has sent her here to end this whole situation. She is on her way to sainthood. She just knows that that's what's going to happen for her. And so she looks at Worthy and apologizes and casts Sacred Flame again at Worthy. Dex save 12.
Dex save 12. Okay. Let's see where. Check this real quick. Okay, cool. Dex save. She rolled a 19 plus 1.
God damn it.
Do you have your inspiration still?
I do. I saved it.
Okay,
I will. Reroll?
Yeah, for this I will allow it. And she got an 18 plus 1. I'm so sorry, Nikki.
You couldn't just let me have it.
I know.
In the finale, you couldn't just let me have it.
I know. I should have. I almost did, but then I showed it to
coming
everybody.
Through or not, I'm horrified at the energy.
I mean, I can give it to you if you want. She has like 4 HP.
Too late. Wait, how's Rogelio doing?
Right.
You're great.
Yeah, what do you?
How is Lotus? Is Lotus within?
No.
60 feet of me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing as how this didn't fucking work, she turns and looks at Lotus and says, "You're gonna be okay." And I'll cast Healing Word.
I'm not the one I'm worried about.
At 2nd level. I can't see your friend though.
I know.
And plus, you don't even know. I might if I cast it on her, she might die.
Radiance.
2nd level, 1d4 plus your spellcasting, so that's 9 points of healing for Lotus.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
All right.
Nice.
And that brings us to Lotus's turn. You are able to get up onto the roof and to Yawana, where she is collapsed on the ground.
How is she looking? Like in terms of, should I roll a medicine?
Yeah, roll a medicine check.
Oh, I'm not great at this. No.
She
Is
yeah,
she breathing?
She's breathing. She looks pretty bad off though.
I just start muttering, Scary and I will make sure you're okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I aim for Worthy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't have anything I can do to heal Joanna, but at the very least I can end this. Do I have advantage because it has been Rohelia's turn?
Yeah, no one's used it yet.
Oh, yeah.
From downtown.
Yeah, go for it. 16 to hit. What is Worthy's AC? Come on. Oh, where'd her thing go? You just hit her AC.
It doesn't matter. All that matters is I hit.
Yeah.
Bugs 2. No, Bugs 2. Why not?
Go for it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you are able to make this this long shot, and we follow your arrow as it travels from this rooftop, and it kind of like pierces the light through the just like glow off of Isadora, and hits Worthy like square in the chest, almost like the exact same place that Vladesco was hit. And she stumbles back into the bonfire and lights up. And with that, you all hear a sort of sigh travel throughout the mist. And all around you, the undead sort of just collapse and become corpses once more as the final member of the band of the Falcon is no more. And you, Lotus, behind you, you hear just kind of like a sputtering cough as Joanna doesn't fully sit up, but her eyes open, and she kind of weakly kind of props herself up on an arm.
I will get down so she could use me to get up, sit up.
Yeah, she is able to like pull herself up, kind of like resting a head on your shoulder, and the general like overcast sky starts to dissipate, and the mist in Lecker starts to pull away a bit, and Joanna looks up and says, "The stars. I haven't seen stars in so long." As she looks up at the thin sliver of the new moon and the starry sky above. And she sort of just like nestles into the nape of your neck. Rogelio, you and Dora are standing by the like bonfire, which is still like crackling. There was very recently a tiefling on it, and all around you, the undead have sort of just like collapsed into bodies, and here and there you can see like a scant few like Falkovnians like looking around like confused and you sense like a trepidation in them, like a fear to hope that what is happening is like a good thing. And Jubilee, you are standing kind of like in the like smoky remains of this large enemy that you felled, and you can see sort of the like trails of smoke throughout the city, like lifting up into a beautiful like starry night, as the curse of Falkovnia is lifted from the realm. What are you all doing before we get into our epilogue?
Isadora falls to her knees and like takes her holy book and hugs it to her chest and starts praying, and looks up at Lotus and says thank you, and then just like is thanking Lathander for saving her.
As you are looking at your holy book, thanking Lathander, what feels like a breeze, but one that only touches the pages of the book, starts flipping pages towards the back, and it lands on blank pages that you've never seen there before. You've read this book back and forth. There are no blank pages in it. And slowly in this scrawling hand, you see new words starting to be written into this book. And as you follow them, you realize that it is a story about what happened here. And the way that you and your companions brought light to a completely other realm beyond even Lathander's reach. And you just feel like with this light shining up at you, you feel just like like Lathander's embrace around you, as if with the mists thinned, he has finally been able to find you again. And what you knew something was missing the moment you entered entered Falkovnia, and you realize kind of now that it has come back that what was missing was that kind of presence of and love of your God being able to see you and protect you and guide you, in this kind of like almost like sunlight coming off of the book.
She like starts crying and like teardrops drop onto the book, and she closes it and then stands up and like she did when she was a little girl, puts her hand into Rogelio's and says, I think we can go home now, Theo. And calls him uncle.
Rogelio, you what do you do? How do you respond?
I get my knives back. My knives back. My daggers. I'm not looking at those. No, I do. I go and I find them, pick them up, kind of gently. They're both monogrammed. Really nice ones, right? One of them has Rogelio's initials on their RC, but the other one has an E instead of the R. On the bottom of the hilt. You know, they're monogrammed like Andy style. You know what I mean? Like on Woody, like on Woody's foot, like on the bottom of the hilt. That's where it is. And he puts the one with the RC away, and then grabs the EC, and then pulls out that illustration again and looks at it. And he says, not today, my love. Maybe next time. and like folds it back up, puts it in, and then sheaths the dagger. He says, I'm ready to Isadora.
Jubilee, you're watching the two of them, and you see
very specific, like intentionally not just like sees it's a moment and is like, oh my god, excuse me, and will like full turn around, and then just kind of stand there twiddling her swords.
Yeah, so you kind of like give them a moment, seeing the way Isadora kind of reacts. Go for it. And the way they react to each other brings poetry to mind. And as you turn around, you see your sister kind of peering at you from around a corner.
Yeah, so she's standing there just kind of waiting and then turns. Okay, so I've heard voices before and it's been not real. I'm going to need some sort of... and just mid-sentence drops with swords, drops to a knee and is like, Poe, honey, if it's you for real, get your ass over here right now. But if it's not, like, tell me how to find you. And just wait with like an arm out.
She says,
I said a swear. Sorry, don't say that word.
yeah, you're not supposed to swear. You know that.
I know, but sorry.
It's bad, but
it is bad.
I think you did a really good thing here, and I think that I think you're on the right path to help a lot of people, and maybe if you can help them, you can help me. And she turns and she looks behind her and she says, I gotta go, but you're doing the right thing. You keep doing this, and I think you'll be able to find me. And then she tucks like back around the corner and out of sight.
She's gonna go around the corner, but I assume
it's just an empty Lecker street.
All right, sweetheart, I hear you. I'm gonna find you wherever you are. I'm gonna find you. I promise. Also, don't say that word because I am listening. And then she'll go back, pick up her swords.
Yeah, you kind of like gather with Rogelio and Isadora after they've had their moment, and up on the roof, Lotus, you are kind of like, you have Joanna in your arms, and she looks up at you and she says, you did it. You saved us. You ended the curse.
I mean, it was a group effort, but also like I would have been done for if you weren't able to help me. And are you going to be okay? Like I can.
As you're stammering, she pulls you down into a kiss.
Oh. Scary thing about this. I need
oh
to
my
know.
God, I wish I could close my friggin' eyes. I wish I had eyes so I could close them right now.
I like just give her like the biggest like hug. Let's get you down, like actually, and I just shoot like an arrow with like a little note on it saying I'm up here, just right off the thing. I'm kind of tired. Let's just sit here for a while.
You sit and Joanna just kind of like nestles into sitting with you, and you see the arrow fly up and then down, landing near the group. You all are able to see it and read it, but Joanna is sitting like kind of just sitting with you, like more or less like in your lap, kind of in that way where you're just kind of both like wrapped around each other while you're sitting. And she takes off her veil, her widow's veil, and tosses it to the ground, and just like rests her head on your shoulder. And as all of you are sort of catching your breath after what's been like 3 days, I think. Dear God. She's back on the market, folks. And so you all feel a similar feeling to when you all first arrived in Falkovnia, and an uneasiness like before something monumental happens. And we watch, zooming out, as all of you are conversing, here and there, different conversations. And from a distance, being able to see you kind of like at a bird's eye view, around the corners of sort of the shot, we see the mist pouring back into the city and growing closer and closer to all four of you, well, five of you. And then just as it gets close to you, we cut to black. And that is the end of Besieged by the Dead. Woo!
We're alive.
We got real close to not being.
Isidore achieved sainthood.
We did it.
Yeah, so that has been Besieged by the Dead. Yeah, again, I am your humble dungeon master. My name is Ellis. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at Hekvetica, where I write about TTRPGs and UI and UX design. And I'll kick it off to Rogelio, or to Miguel.
Hi, everyone. I am Miguel. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Miguel_Classico, where I just really post photos of cool burritos that I make. Tortas also. Yeah, this is really all I'm doing stream-wise for a while. So if anyone needs a goofy dum-dum to guest on their stream sometime in January or February, hit me up. I'm available. I also write and edit a little. So if you need someone to put a critical pair of eyes on something you're writing, hit me up.
Awesome. And Izzy.
Okay, I'm gonna wing it. Hi, I'm Izzy. I've she, they. I was playing Jubilee, also she, they. You can find me on Twitter, Z_mist with a Y, all lowercase. So fun. I'm also on Donuts and Duels on Utopia whenever that starts airing. I hope I'm allowed to say that.
Nice.
Gosh, you guys, IDK.
Uh-oh.
Announced.
But so it's it's been announced. There's art out, so it's props fine. And then in the same vein, next year we'll be doing, the Urban Shadows campaign on Runs Roll Dice, but I don't know the name of the show. I'm so sorry, Eli. Please forgive me. I'm not great at promoting things. Oh my God, and podcast Wednesdays, Pot Against the Machine. That's it. I'm just gonna go.
Pot Against the Machine Wednesdays. Be there, listen to it.
Do it.
Cool. And Derek.
Hi, I'm Dare. I do things on the internet. Any pronoun for me. Thank you, first of all, for allowing me here. But yeah, I do stuff on Twitter and TikTok at NBDare, ENBYDARE. If you want to see me yelling about Miles Morales being queer, you'll see me there. In terms of things I do, I write, I perform, yada, 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 yada. I'd recommend checking out my games. All right, they're incredibly sad and completely opposite to the energy I've brought this entire show. Over on nbdare.itch.io, they're very sad games about the world ending and death and decay, things like that. I'm very sad, actually. So please check this out. I have a bundle running so I can buy estrogen. So please check that out. I have a dice, Die Hard Dice promo code DARE, 15% off. You have about 9 days to get on that, so do it for the holidays. And Transplant RPG in 2022. And
hell yeah.
I'm also bad at promoting myself because I will be on Roll of Lore in like a week and some change, playing a goblin in an old goblin game of Honey Heist. So that'll be fun.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool. And Nikki, take us away.
All right, so I am Nikki. I am co-creator here at TTRPG. We have a lot of really awesome stuff coming up. We are starting the Between campaign on Tuesday of next week. That'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific. I will be playing my creepy Dr. Helena Betancourt. I'm really excited because I love playing creeps. We also we're skipping TTRPG the talk show this month to take a break for the holiday, so that'll be back last Sunday of January. I'm getting distracted by Dare, and catch us in starting January 8th. It will be our Avatar: The Last Airbender campaign that will go for 5 episodes. So definitely check that out because that's going to be really awesome. And because the majority of the people I follow are at PAX, there's no one for us to go raid right now, so we won't be doing that. Definitely come back and check us out for one of our other shows.
Awesome.